Hey guys, so today's Thursday, it's a new vlogging week and it's kind of been a manic day so far. So I put up last week's vlog and then checking emails and so on. I'm about to head out and go for my first interview. So I have about 20 minutes before I need to leave. I'm really looking forward to just going into an office and actually like having a look around and having an interview and seeing what it's like over here and just experiencing it. And whether I get it or not, it should hopefully be interesting. So yeah, this is what I look like post-interview. I'm a bit windswept. Excuse me. But yeah, I think it went well. It's really hard to tell, and it's kind of holiday time at the moment, so they're not going to tell me for another 3 or 4 weeks, so I don't know. Just gonna have to hold out and be patient. But right now I am going off to Ingmar's work to have dinner with him, and then we're going to the opening of a chocolate shop here in Reykjavik as well. So I lasted 2 minutes. How long did you last?
You lasted like 5 minutes. I lasted maybe 10 minutes.
It was crazy. It was like a whole bunch of people who were really dressed up. Like dressed up so that they were going to the theatre or something. They were going to a chocolate opening. The shop, yeah. And they were just, there were samples out on one table and it was surrounded like 3 people deep, like at a bar, and they were literally pushing and shoving you out of the way. Like they weren't even saying the Icelandic word for excuse me, fyrirgefðu. And then as soon as they knew I spoke English, they were like, get out my way, there's no room for you, and pushing you out the way. And there was people with babies in there as well. It was mad. I had to leave.
I wouldn't say it was rude for Icelandic persons, but it felt rather weird after being in France and just being abroad and being around people who are not Icelandic. It felt like this should have been something a little bit more formal perhaps, and
yeah, there was no real order to what was going on.
No control, and it was just I was kinda embarrassed for the people who organized this.
It's a real shame because the company is really good and the chocolate is amazing, but that was just an awful first impression.
If some eating like this was to take place, I would have organized that outside in a booth or something, and then just have something show and tell for the people inside, rather than having them stack up against the 3 deep around the table with food on it. And that was supposed to, and it was delicious. It was awesome. The chocolate is awesome, but again, the people around it were less so. So, as you can tell, I am about to go on a bike for the first time in quite a few years, to cycle down this giant hill and then attempt to cycle back up it. So I have a few things that I'm going to take to the post office, and hopefully I'm going to survive this journey. Let's see. So I have to say that this is probably the girliest bike I could have gone for, but my rucksack fits perfectly in the little basket that I put on the front, which I think is so cute. Anyway, let's get going. So bike 1, Sonia 0. I'm just back from attempting to take the bike out for its first real cycle. We live at the top of a hill, and at the bottom of it is a junction over like a motorway kind of thing. So I was going down the hill, managed to put the brakes on before I got to that junction. It was green light, so I headed over. The back wheel kind of did like a shudder, and then it basically like locked up. And as it did that, I nearly went over the handlebars, managed to stop myself and get off the bike. So yeah, me and the bike have had a little bit of a fallout already.
as I crossed, like I was walking over the road past some pedestrians, and there was like lots of cars stopped at the traffic lights, but nobody checked that I was okay or to offer me some help or anything. But I would have asked if that person was all right, but anyway. So yeah, I went over to the shop the other side of the road where there's a car park, and there was like a bike stand, but it was quite a strange bike stand. They had to like lift up and put, I think, the handlebars into the frame or something like that, because I called Ingmar and I tried to explain what the stand was like. I sent him a picture so I can figure out how to actually lock the bike up, and there was this guy kind of loitering around, and he didn't ask if I was alright or needed help or anything, and he was just kind of, he was being quite strange, and I was just feeling a bit vulnerable. I was kind of like, what is going on, can you help me? And then I went to padlock the bike up, and I turned around and he was just peeing beside me basically. So I decided to move away from there. I took the bike and I locked up to some stairs, and that's how I've left it for now, and I just walked to the post office from there. So I think Ingmar's gonna have to pick it up, get it in the back of the car, and kind of just take it apart and rebuild it again. Obviously, like, the back wheel just wasn't on tight or straight or whatever. But yeah, hopefully I will get it all sorted and go out for another ride again soon and get on a lot better next time. So this is a recent drawing that I did for one of Ingmar's friend's dads, who is a sheep farmer, and we went to his farm when it was like lambing season. Did a video on that. So I did a drawing and I've got a frame for it now, so I'm just going to frame this up and then we're gonna give it to him soon, hopefully. Right, so I've measured out where I want the drawing to go. And cut it down, but the piece of paper is slightly bigger than the drawing was, therefore I'm going to try and do a kind of mount. Right, let's see. So that's the scrap piece, this is the mount, and hopefully it'll work something like that. Yeah, and there we go, that's the finished piece. Done. Morning guys, so it's Monday morning and I'm off to the Red Cross. I'm going to spend a couple of hours there and then cycle down to the post office with a few parcels that have to ship out, and then come back and finish editing a couple of different food videos that I've been filming over the last few days. So yeah, cycling challenge day 2, let's see how the bike goes. Ingmar had a good look at it, took it apart, put it back together. So hopefully it's all going to be fine and I'll update you as it goes. Well, that was a successful mission. Did not fall off, nothing broke. Ow. And I managed to get to some of the shops and the post office and the Red Cross, and everything's in one piece. You forget how sore your bum is on a bike. But I feel alright actually, I'm glad I did it. So upstairs to do a whole load more stuff that's gonna have to go to the post office in the next few days.